Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we cannot go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home? And who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 334. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G Network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave No Beard Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
Well, you know, I'm Dan that has a beard, Robinson. Right?
You got a little fuzz, you got a little soul patch thing going on right there. You got a little mini beard.
Just because I can't braid my beard, Mr. Viking, like you.
I mean, I can't braid my beard anymore, but I used to. I used to be able to.
I got a beard. You got a 5 o'clock shadow. It's not even 5 o'clock yet.
Listen, doing it all for the costume. Doing it all for the costume.
You got a 2 a.m. shadow. That's what you got.
Listen. You correctly guessed my costume, Captain N, the Game Master, right? Captain N, teenage boy. He did not have a 5 o'clock shadow, so I got to clean this up a little bit. But
well, you could evolve the character a little bit. You know, like I was you know, like I was Henry Potter, right? Not Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You know, Henry is his cousin from Brooklyn. Right? So, you know, you could have been like, you know.
Oh, I'm all for
Captain N stuck in the Vikings game, you know, with the beard.
I'm definitely all for the mashups. I did do a zombie Mario costume a couple years ago, so I'm not adverse. Actually, I think last year I did zombie Mario.
It was last year.
Not adverse to doing that, but I typically like to stick to the character itself and kind of hit it as much as possible. So,
all right. Well, you know, for everybody who's watching us on video, I need people to tweet at us and let me know if Captain N had blue hair, because Dave still has blue hair right now.
It's not Halloween yet, Dan. There's still time, right?
Yeah, you got blue hair. You know.
At the moment, yes. At the moment, you got to look good on the day of, right? Whatever you're doing, you're going out to a party, you're going to the parade, whatever. You're going trick or treating. On the day, you got to look 100.
All right, so I didn't know if you're doing a mashup. You know, like you know, Papa Smurf turns into Captain N or something like that. So. Okay, I got some big changes in my game room.
I don't know. Changes.
I got some changes. I mean, if you're on video, you can see I no longer have the couch behind me. I had to throw the couch.
What happened? What happened? I mean, I know what happened, but tell the fans what happened.
You know, listen, you know, wear and tear playing video games. I went straight through the couch. There's a hole in it, so I'd throw it out.
Damn! Right? You literally broke the couch from playing too many video games. That's a new one.
You go. Well, you know, that and jumping on the couch
to
go play the video games.
How long did you have that for? Because
how long have we been doing the show?
It was 7 years.
All right, well there you go. I had it for 7 years.
Wow, that is a strong tour of duty. All right, not upset about that right there. You get 7 years out of a couch, it's pretty good.
I got 7. Yeah. Well, wait, how long have you lived in your place?
Since the end of 2016.
All right, so I had it since the end of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe 6 years. Because remember, I came to your house And I was like, where'd you get this couch from? And you're like, I got it from this website. And I was like, oh, I think I'll buy the black version of that.
Jennifer Leather,
Yeah. So
Nice.
all right, so I had it for 6 years. I gotta buy a new gamer chair. Maybe that'll be my Christmas gift.
Hey,
And that's
yeah.
it. That's how. No more couch. I'm not gonna bring another couch in. So, but I rearranged the room.
Mm-hmm.
I know, Dave, you're gonna be shocked at this because you're always shocked. I rearranged the room and I found more room.
See? All you got to do is destroy a couch, Dan, and the world opens up.
It just opens up.
There you go.
But I got a new TV, Sony OLED TV. I said if I was gonna buy a new TV, it had to be an OLED.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be an OLED. It had to be like my Vita screen. I had to have a TV that was as good as my Vita screen, if not better.
That is OLED is beautiful. Now I will say I have a QLED. I have Samsung's answer to OLED, different technology. They have their pros and cons. I won't get into all of that, but OLED is beautiful. The blacks are true black, right? Because each individual pixel has its own light array, so you can put as much intensity to it and it doesn't bleed out over to the other pixels. That is the beauty of OLED. So I'm a little jealous.
Wait. Why is Samsung different? It's not like OLED is owned by Sony. I mean, the Nintendo Switch has an OLED screen, not a QLED.
Well,
like, why can't you just have an OLED screen like everybody else?
Well, Samsung did do OLED 1 year, and now they're doing this hybrid QD OLED, which is the best of both worlds. So the benefit to a QLED style TV, right, Samsung's technology or whatever, right, is they have like an additional layer that kind of goes over the top. But at the end of the day, the big difference is it's like LCD versus plasma, right? Plasma's had more accurate color, deeper color, whatever else. The OLEDs can give you true black, right? The QLEDs can kind of get there, but they have a bit of like haloing. But their benefit is they're like super bright. So the whites are a lot whiter. Some colors are more accurate on the QLEDs. The older OLEDs do have some problems with like reds and yellows sometimes. They'll look very intense, but they'll look like a little bit like not completely accurate. But if you have a lot of light in your room, the QLEDs can get super bright. So if you put them side by side, the white levels are like insane on like a QLED. Where on the OLED, the blacks are like pure black. So that's like when you like go in and you see like a demo on like an OLED TV and it looks super saturated and all that. Take a look at the bright areas and then compare those to like the Samsung version next to it, and then you'll kind of see the difference. So
look at Dave putting a Circuit City hat on it.
That's right, the good old days, right? So I'm not here to say one is better than the other, like some of my friends, but I am here to say that I own a Samsung QLED TV, and I love it.
Well, listen, we all have our we're all loyal to certain brands. Like you really love Samsung. I know you're really good. You're a Google guy. I'm an Apple guy, and I really love Sony products. Right? So I know you're. We all have our brand loyalty.
I mean, hey, Sony is now in the pantheon of the big three, just like Nintendo, PlayStation, and Microsoft. Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. It's Sony, LG, and Samsung. If you want to get the best of the best.
I'm so happy you said LG because I have LG monitors, by the way.
Yeah, LG is a beast. Now
except for my work monitors, they're cheap. They had to buy me Acers. But go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. It's all right. You work with what you can. I have many questions on the TV, but I have one question I'm going to ask you now. Does the OLED TV have the VRR support in it? Do you know that offhand?
I did not check.
Okay. I
did not check.
I think because you got a pretty high-end model, I think, right? I think it may have VRR support.
I got the 85K model, so 85K. That's like last year's. It was like last year's model, all right?
Okay.
Like it was like $2,200, and they had it discounted to like $16.99.
Oh, see, that's how you do it.
I'm sure they want to give. Listen. if Black Friday, I'm sure the TV is going to be $12.99, right?
Well,
I couldn't wait.
mean,
I needed a new TV now, so I couldn't exactly wait until Black Friday.
The best 2 times a year, Black Friday and Super Bowl Sunday, you will find the best prices on the TVs. Well, that and the exact time when the new models come out, and they discount the old models. But that is a very, like, you got in on that window, but that is a very short window, and it changes all the. There's no particular time when new models come out necessarily. They're all over the place, but
you know what? I'll be able. I don't know if I'm going to do this, but I may. Hopefully, Black Adam will be on stream, so I can watch it. I could stream it on my new OLED because I know you got to see it on the big screen.
Oh, I did. I saw it last night. I'm hot off the heels of DC's new entry into the comic book movie, their comic book movie universe. I will keep it spoiler free because there are some things in the movie, and there are some greater things that tie into the DC universe. Yes, they do have a DC universe. One thing I will say that's not really a spoiler is the head of the I forget, like, the head of the organization that kind of tries to control
the original Justice League, right? Like, they weren't they were like the Justice League before Superman and them, right?
Oh, well, yes, them. But I was talking about the lady, the black lady who appears in Justice League, Peacemaker, probably some other movies. I think Suicide Squad.
Viola Davis, yeah.
Right. Viola Davis's character does appear in this, so it does kind of like ties things together.
It's in the commercial.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, like, she's in it. There's some people. There's some cameos in this. I was like, oh, okay. The post credit scene, very good. It is a good movie. It's starring The Rock, so you know, take that as you will. You know what you're going to get with this movie. The supporting cast is good. They kind of have like a mini Justice League that kind of forms. Felt a little like Black Panther with like the ancient civilization that's kind of hidden from the world and is now like modernized, and then the hero comes out, this anti-hero, right? Kind of comes out of the ashes. So it was cool. It was good.
I will say this was a good time to put it out, because if they would have waited like 2-3 more weeks, it would have went up against Black Panther and they would have got crushed.
Oh yeah. Because like the problem with all these DC movies is, well, one, you don't know if it's going to tie into the greater universe. Is it going to be like the Joker, right? The one with Joaquin Phoenix? Is it going to be the Batman? Is it going to be like, who knows? Everything is all over the place. So you don't get that kind of like built-in like 20 years of like history with like all the Marvel movies. You know that this movie ties into the previous one and will tie into the next one.
Dave, it's DC. It's DC. They started the multiverse before Marvel did. They did it in the weirdest way. So everything that ties in, all they gotta do is zap into Robert Pattinson Batman. They'll be there. Okay.
Because now there's this multiverse situation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did it on the TV show. It was like, you know, they as Batman.
Yeah.
They had the Flash from the movies and the TV show.
Well, now they don't have the Flash anymore because the movie version of the Flash is.
No, it's on ice. But I think they're working to get him back.
I don't know about that. Ezra Miller is he's on some crazy shit.
He is. But they said I read somewhere like maybe like 2-3 weeks ago that they're like working to
really. Wow, that is bananas. Well, okay. I mean, more power to him, but yeah, that dude's on another level. Anyway, I would recommend it if you were thinking about seeing it. Definitely see it. It's definitely a good popcorn.
They got mixed reviews. Either you hated it or you loved it, and the critics hated it, but the fans seemed to love it. It was it was just The Rock as a superhero.
Exactly.
That's actually what it is.
There's some cheesy ass scenes. I ain't gonna lie, but
sure.
But you know, you got the Rock. I mean, the Rock is the Rock of the movie, right? He lives up to the name, right? He kind of brings everything together. He's awesome. There's a little bit of humor in there.
I mean, the cheesy part. I mean, it's only I didn't see the movie, so this ain't a real spoiler because it's on the trailer. I just love it when he's just like, "Can you fly?" and he just flings the guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There is a couple really good lines about catchphrases that pays off at the end of the movie.
Gotcha.
Genius.
Okay.
Genius.
Right.
Very good.
So Dave,
very good.
Dave, let's get all right. Dave, this is not the OLED podcast, and this
no.
is not ECU.
It's not the DCU podcast. I could talk about Black Adam all day. I got other thoughts, but
and you know what? I could talk about wrestling all day, but we don't have all the time in the world. So listen, Dave, we have an awesome show this week coming up. We're going to talk about everything from that Silent Hill showcase. Right, it was pretty good. It was better than I expected. And then a voice actor is calling for a boycott of Bayonetta 3.
Big news. Big news.
Yeah, I never heard somebody call for their own boycott. Right, it's usually the crowd, the audience is calling for the boycott.
Yeah. We'll get into that because every time I think like, okay, these are the facts of the story, some new info comes out and it's like, well, maybe not.
All right, but before we get into any of that, let's begin with the notable games coming out in November. All right, all the game release dates here come from Game Informer, for their video game release date list. So, if any of these dates are wrong, you can blame them because that's where I pull my information from. And let's start with November 4th. It Takes Two comes out on the Switch. That's an awesome game, and it definitely belongs on the Switch.
Yeah. It was our game of the year last year or 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, because last year was Psychonauts.
Well, it was nominated for game. Yeah. No, did we name it?
Did we nominate it last year? Jeez, I'm sorry.
It was definitely nominated. I don't know if it won game of the year.
Listen. Zombie Apocalypse is a bitch. It just warps time. The last 2.5 years at this point are just like that happened last week, right?
It's just a blur.
Yeah.
It's a blur. So, Oddworld Soulstorm comes out on the Switch November 8th.
Oh shit!
Right?
Yeah.
This was a PlayStation exclusive for like a year. Then it came out on Xbox, and now it's coming out on the Switch. Something else that was a PlayStation exclusive when it released earlier this year. Sifu is coming to the Switch also on November 8th.
Very nice.
So. All right, so those are ports essentially coming to the Switch. Now we get into the heavy hitters, the new stuff. Sonic Frontiers comes out on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, PC. No Stadia because Stadia is dead.
Rip Stadia. Long live Google's new streaming platform because they apparently have streaming laptops now.
I'm sure
they do.
Something else that'll die.
They do. It's terrible. Immediately afterwards, they're like, "Hey, we have gaming streaming laptops." What? I don't want to get into it, but it's stupid.
All right, so that's coming out November 8th. The very next day, okay, we have God of War Ragnarok on PS5 and PS4.
I'm gonna say, I know you haven't gone through the whole entire list. This is the game that people were waiting for. This is the one.
This is the game. All right, it's just that should be like on your T-shirt, right? Like this is the game.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
God of War. This is the game. It's got to be just like the EA Sports intro.
All right, so that was a PlayStation exclusive. Now let's go to Xbox exclusive. Pentiment. It was by Obsidian, right? Obsidian is the one that's making Pentiment.
I totally forgot what this game is about.
Yeah, it was like a smaller narrative, side-scrolling RPG, right?
Oh, yeah. This has the weird, like, the pre-Renaissance style, the kind of Gothic style artwork, the 2D, and you got to make all these, decisions for your town, I think. Yeah, okay. I'm actually kind of hype on this.
This is coming out November 15th. Well, we know it'll be on Games Pass. Don't know if there'll be a physical version for it. I don't think so. I don't anticipate that. And then we got on the November 18th, a PC release, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales on PC. So So for you PC lovers out there, well, it's finally coming to PC. I mean,
Yep.
this seems to be the model, right? Release it on console, and then a year later you could put it out on PC. I know this game came out 2 years ago, but still, it seems to be what they're going for. They're porting older games, but
I mean,
once they start to get their rhythm, I think a year after the game is released on console, it'll be ported to PC.
yeah, I mean, there's money there on the table. It's a good way to have your cake and eat it too, right? You get the exclusivity, so you get all the people like, okay, I'll get it on PlayStation because I gotta play it right now. And then all the people that are just like, PC gamers for life, they can play it a little bit later on. It's a win-win, and they get all the extra PC sliders to make their game look pretty. I think it's a good strategy.
I think this will change over time. Give it, maybe, when the new PlayStation, like PlayStation 6, when we definitely have the digital, everything digital with an optional optical drive. I think this will change. I think it'll be released on PC day and date. Right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, I think this is something that they're just easing their way into.
Oh yeah, agreed.
All right, but so that's for PC players on November 18th. If you have a Switch, November 18th, this is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. How many goddamn Pokemon games out there?
I was just gonna say too, because like we just got some Pokemon games. We got the Arceus or whatever.
Yeah, but that's not like a real Pokemon game. That's like.
Well, I mean, it's not a
mainline.
I mean, it is, but it's not like a full fledged. Yeah, it's like a side story thing or something like that. But still, like they're putting them out like all the time. Yeah. And they won't stop. It's the same game all the way back on the original Game Boy. They just keep iterating over it slightly, and they give you some new features.
Because people keep buying it. That's why.
I know, and that's perfectly fine. If you're into that world and you like love those games, you have a wealth of good Pokemon games to play. So.
All right. Also November 18th. Don't worry, we already covered PC and Switch, but if you have console, November 18th, the Dark Pictures anthology, The Devil in Me. So
this is the third, I think.
This is the third. This is hopefully, I think this is it for the trilogy, right?
Okay.
They said they were doing a trilogy. This comes out on all, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S. And
have you played these at all?
I played maybe 3 hours of the first one.
Did you like it?
It's cool. It's because
it's right up your alley, I think. Right? It's like those Telltale games, kind of.
Yeah. What was the PS4 exclusive that came out when the PS4 first came out around?
Talking about the horror game?
Yeah. It was like the horror game that was like the horror Telltale game. It wasn't made by Telltale. I forgot the name of it.
Oh. Well, it wasn't The Wolf Among Us, right?
No. No, that's from Telltale. This wasn't a Telltale game, but it was like a Telltale game. It was like a horror Telltale game.
Yeah. It wasn't The Evil Within, right? No. But it was.
No, it was Within.
It was something like that. The name, I think. Yeah. But I know the game you're talking about.
They made the VR version.
The VR version was Rush of Blood, I think.
Yeah, but
it was something Rush of Blood. Yeah.
Yeah, Rush of Blood was like the subtitle. Yeah. So. I mean, this is the same studio that made that game.
Until Dawn. That's the game I'm thinking of.
Until Dawn, yeah. Right. Same studio that made that game.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like technically the fourth game in the series.
Right.
They made the same game. So. All right, coming out November 22nd, Evil West, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PC.
This game, I remember playing this at Penny Arcade at PAX, and it was good. I liked it a lot. I thought it felt good, but this was delayed a little bit. They had to go back and kind of tweak some things and polish it up a little bit. So happy to see this game coming out finally. I'm probably gonna get it, probably on PC if I can find a physical.
I'm definitely getting it. I know it was at the PlayStation showcase.
Mm-hmm.
I may have to buy it for Xbox just because I have so many PS5 games. Got to do something with my Xbox.
Wow! Slightly throwing shade. All right, I got all these great PlayStation games. Maybe I got to buy an Xbox game.
Well, I mean, in November I got God of War Ragnarok, right? Like, obviously that's only PS5. I'm probably getting Sonic Frontiers for the Switch, so I need something on my Xbox this
Right,
month. So
right.
It's probably gonna be Evil West.
Okay.
Then we got November 22nd, Gungrave Gore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember the Gungrave game that came out on PS2.
I mean, I do. Way back when.
It's sort of a hidden gem, you know. But I think Metal Jesus had it as like a hidden gem. So
that's not surprising.
Yeah, I didn't know that they had. I didn't know this came out for. They were still making games in the Gungrave universe, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And then we cap off the month, also November 22nd, the game that keeps on giving, Just Dance 2023, right? It's coming out on PS5, PS4, PS5, Series X, Xbox One, Switch. No Wii, no Wii U. That's it. It's over.
No PS4?
I know. I figured. I was thinking of that too. I guess.
Why?
Again. If it is coming out on a PS4, don't blame me. Blame Game List.
I think Game Informer effed up. Now I understand you can't support the Wii anymore, right? The Wii is dead. The Wii version is dead.
Yes, they can. They can still support.
I mean, I know it's the exact same game engine, whatever, this and that. But I mean, nobody's buying it at this point. Ubisoft looked at the numbers; they go, "Okay, the Wii is dead.
Yeah,
we're gonna move on."
Only 4 people are buying them, and it's probably me.
Yeah, of course. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I would bet money it's coming out to PS4. It's coming out to Xbox One. It's got to come out to PS4. It's not a very graphically intensive game, let me tell you.
So, all right, that's all for the notable games coming out in November. But I will say, we have like online services. We have the Nintendo Switch online service. Well,
I do.
The expansion pack, to be specific, they do have Mario Party 1 and 2 coming out November 2nd.
Why not 1, 2, and 3? Just go whole hog. Why stop at 2?
Because they need to give you something in March.
Jesus.
They need to give you a new game in March.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad they're like coming on there. Part two is a classic. Definitely one of the best in the series for sure. Part 1 is a little rough. It's still good, but part 2 over part 1 any day. And I would almost say maybe part 3 over part 2.
Part 1, because it is the first. So they had to start somewhere and then.
Oh no, of course. But like objectively, when you look at 2, it's got more mini games, it's got more characters, it's got more worlds, and the boards are much more interesting.
All right, Dave, as we always try to start the show but epically fail, what have you been playing?
Damn, Dan. Now, it is definitely my favorite part of the show. Not anything too crazily new. Obviously, I'm still playing Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which is my game for Saturday Morning Retro coming up very, very soon, so stay tuned for that episode. I am also playing Halo Infinite. I'm getting back into it, trying to finish out the season, which I probably won't, because, I got work. got a lot of things going on. Halloween's coming up and whatnot. It's hard to put the time in. I got to level 100 on season 1 very early, and then I was like, what do I do now? So I'm like barely level 40, and the season's going to end pretty soon. There's a new winter update coming, so looking forward to that stuff. We got Forge on the horizon, so it's going to be bananas. Like, I'll tell you, we didn't actually talk about this, but if you take a look on YouTube, there's actually 2 videos. One of them's a little bit older, but one person recreated Andy's room from Toy Story.
Okay.
And it's like, it's scale appropriate as if you were a Master Chief toy. So the bed's really big, and it's got like the coaster, and and it looks like Andy's room with all the textures and everything. Like, so that was like pretty awesome. And then the latest one to come out, some guy recreated the Link's village from the Ocarina of Time.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Complete with a Navi, complete with like objectives, right? You got to go to
Really?
Oh yeah, you got to like go to the Lost Woods and like you got to find the Master Sword or the wooden Kokiri sword or whatever it is. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy, and there's like tons of scripting you can do in the game. So like it's not just building a level; you can build all this logic into it and do all this like crazy stuff. So it's gonna be bananas when it comes out. You'll like be able to do little mini campaign things, like you'll be like, all right, go here and do this, kill these enemies, which will trigger this thing. It's bananas. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So how about you, Dan? What have you been playing?
All right. So I did say last episode that I'll tell you what I'm playing for Saturday Morning Retro. And I know it's spooky season, but I'm not a spooky game guy. But I am playing Luigi's Mansion.
Nice.
I'm playing both actually on the GameCube and 3DS.
Spooky, scary. Nice. All right.
So I've been playing that for the last few weeks. But like what I'm like playing that I can actually talk about, I started the new Borderlands from Gearbox last night. So far, so good, pretty good. Right? People said not as good as the first game. The first game was made by Telltale, so this is made by Gearbox internally. So it's good. Can't really give an opinion of only like an hour and a half in, so because I had to wake up super early to do the show today, but I was up last night playing it a little bit. So
now does it follow the story of the first one? Does it pick up after the events of it, or is it something completely different?
It's something completely different in the same universe.
Okay.
Well, so far.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any references to
the
first game. But then I've been playing also Gotham Knights. I'm playing Gotham Knights.
Interesting. Now that game is very not so great in terms of the reviews.
2 hours in. It looks great on my new OLED screen, by the way.
I'm sure.
Together. Right, it looks awesome. New Borderlands looks awesome too on the OLED screen. I will say this: I don't want to spend too much time on Gotham Knights because I'm only 2.5 hours ish in it. I just got it yesterday, so I didn't get enough time to play it. But off the back, I mean, the combat, it's no Arkham. Okay, so if you're gonna compare it to Arkham, you're gonna be very disappointed. It is not Arkham at all. Okay, so when you play this game, you have to go in. You have to go in with a fresh set of eyes. Don't compare it. It's its own game. All right. With that said, even going in knowing that it's its own game is not going to be, it's not the next game in the Arkham series. It doesn't know what it wants to be. I feel like this was a multiplayer game. It started as a multiplayer game, and they said no, we can't. Let's change it, and it's it's a single player. You can play it single player, right? Because it's like every mission is a hub, and you got to come back to the hub. Right, like it feels like it wants to be the Destiny in the Batman universe. That's what it feels like.
Okay.
Right, but then they said no, we gotta have it to where you can play it by yourself. And that can be a little. It's okay, so it's meant to be played with other people. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I would say I'd play it with you, but. Because the reviews aren't so great, I'm gonna wait until it's like $20 at the holiday season. Yeah. IGN gave it a 5, GameSpot gave it a 4. As of right now, in my 2.5 hours ish playtime, I would give it a 7. I don't think it's that bad. That's what Game Informer gave it. Yeah. I don't think it's that bad. Again, I think mostly they gave it that mostly because they went in with thinking of Gotham. Thinking of the previous games. And you can't do that. You cannot do that with this game. So, I would, again, the combat, it's okay. It's too easy, right? Like you can make it easy. You can put it on easy, right? And you're killing people with like 2 hits. You can make it easy, but the combat is really easy. Well, there's a hard mode, right? Why not just put it on hard mode? There is a hard mode, but you know what? I'm in it for the story because the game. So that's a benefit to you. That's a benefit to you. I will say, one really obvious complaint is all the NPCs kind of are the same. Like,
Okay.
I'm on the street and I'm like, I see a guy and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I cross the street and I see the same guy.
Oh, that's like old GTA issues, right? Turn around a corner and you see the same lady you just beat up.
Yeah. There's no mini map. At least there's no mini map that I can see, right? Especially when you're in a driving scene, you have to follow the yellow line, the yellow arrows. They'll tell you where to go. But I like to have a mini map just so I can. Okay, I know I got to make a right turn over here, so I know I got to accelerate or I got to sort of hit the brakes because I'm going too fast because I know I got to make a right turn. There's no mini map. Like
Sure.
Mind-boggling that there's no mini map in here.
Wasn't in the budget, Dan. Wasn't in the budget.
When you're driving, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I've heard that you can get stuck on one player, like one character, because you could choose between the different characters. You get stuck on one character, and then you really have to play that character because you've already leveled them up. Like,
right.
They make it where you have to level up each character. It's okay. It's okay. It's just okay. I think overall I would probably give it a 6 when I'm done. But right now I'll give it a 7.
Wait, you gave it a 7? Oh, okay. But the score may go down.
The score may go down.
Okay. It's got a tentative review score of 7 from Rated G here.
Yeah. No,
that's funny.
It looks beautiful. The story is interesting because it does start out with how Batman dies, right?
Okay.
Like it like the
how he dies or how he dies.
So far, he's dead. He's pretty dead. Far, he's pretty much dead.
That man is out. Man is out.
Yeah. So far, he's pretty much dead. I don't know. I noticed this, and then I saw somebody else's review on YouTube. I forgot his name, and I noticed it, but I thought maybe my mind's playing tricks on me. But he pointed it out. It seemed like there were 2 voice actors doing Batman at the beginning, right? Like it seemed like it was in Arkham, and then and then he sounded different. Then he sounded totally different. So it was like in the game when he's actually the cutscene when he's fighting and he dies, right? Sounds like Batman from the Arkham series. But then when he gives his message of if you hear this, I'm dead. It sounds totally different.
Oh shit! So I didn't know there could be some voice actor shenanigans, which we have a story about that later on. So
I didn't know if that was my ears playing tricks on me or but somebody else pointed it out too. So maybe it's true. I have to look that up.
Yeah, but, weird. Okay,
but it's an okay game. It's an okay. It's definitely an okay game.
the more you like talk about it, your like enthusiasm and like rating just keeps going down.
All right, so maybe I'll give it a 5 later. No.
It's gonna be trash by the end of the episode, and I'm gonna go. I'm not buying it.
Right now it's a solid 7. For the last 2.5 hours is a solid 7.
Right.
All right. Why don't we take a break? When we come back, we're getting to the top gaming news of last week. And we're back. Okay, Dave, let's get into the top gaming news of last week. And before we get into the top gaming news last week, it was something. Right. If you're watching the video version of this, I don't know if you noticed this earlier in the show. Spider-Man Cup is back, baby.
Ooh, he's doing the metal sign. There you go. We're just talking about that on camera. Technically doing the metal sign.
Doing the piece, the love, because it's.
Oh, he's right. He's got the finger out. I love you. All right, which is the web slinger. I love it. I am for showing off our mugs here. Boom, baby. Come on now. You gotta get the Korok cup, the Zelda Korok cup.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
One of my best purchases. The mug is a little bit small, so you got to be careful when you're pouring the water and the creamer and the whatever to mix up your coffee. But I love it. It's very nice.
Well, there's no mystery about I'm drinking. I am drinking coffee, but I do put a little dash of cinnamon in my coffee.
It's the season, baby. It's the season. Cinnamon, pumpkin spice. Throw it all in there.
All right, back to top gaming news of last week. Let's start with that Silent Hill showcase. All right, all right. So this was rumored for the last like 2 years, right? We're talking about the new Silent Hill games that are coming out.
Yep.
And who could be making it? I know people said, "Hey, maybe Sony bought the right." To
Right. And they broker a deal with Kojima. No, not happening.
Yeah, well, that's because Kojima apparently could his own horror game, right? So there were two rumors that people were putting together. But all right, but let's get into it. We are getting a Silent Hill 2 remake, just like we got Resident Evil 2 remake. We get the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yep.
It will be a PS5 exclusive for a year, and then it'll come to other consoles. So
well, this is the one. Like, I don't know if you ever watch Zero Punctuation on the Escapist channel, but he is very high on Silent Hill 2, and he's very critical of every video game. Always has bad things to say. Loves Silent Hill 2. Has a lot of great stuff. Has a lot of good subtext to it. You know, there's really a lot going on. Has one of the best villains, Pyramid Head. Very good. Very good.
Whoa. This just so you know, they said this during the stream, and I don't know if you noticed. His name isn't technically Pyramid Head.
Oh, no?
No. It was like, I should have wrote it down. I was listening to the IGN podcast, and they were like, did you not notice that she said, like, Red Blockhead or something like that? It was like some weird name. It was like, he's not named Pyramid Head. This whole time we would call him Pyramid Head, and it's not Pyramid.
Well, I mean, he's got a giant pyramid on his head. I don't know what else you would call him.
A guy with a big triangle block. I don't know.
Really a mouthful right there. He's really got to get a PR agent to work on his style.
So we got that. That's coming. We didn't get any release window or anything for that. Like that. So we don't know when it's coming out. I would venture to guess either late next year or early 2024. To be honest.
Agreed.
Then we're gonna get we got 4 games, by the way. 4 game announcements. So we got a new spin-off game in the Silent Hill series, developed by No Code Studios, and it's called Silent Hill Townfall. All right. So we got that. We got another spin-off set in 1960s Japan called Silent Hill F.
That was kind of bananas. Yeah.
I wonder what F stands for, because get the F out of here with all these spooky games.
Yep.
Good. I'm good. And then the most interesting out of all of these game announcements is Silent Hill Ascension, which I think they gave a 2023 window for this game, and IGN describes it as basically a Let's Play Pokemon version of the new Silent Hill story. Right?
A Let's Play Pokemon. Yeah, that's a weird juxtaposition right there. It's cool. I'm glad Konami is back in the business of making video games, right? 3 games and a remake. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. There's going to be a full-on soup to nuts remake of 2, which is cool. There's more stuff coming out. Now, it's funny because, like, I don't think any of it is made in-house, right? They've got all these other companies who are kind of working on them.
I know. Well, you know, at least they didn't announce 5 different pachinko machines to go along with this.
Right. Now, to be fair, like, Nintendo does have a lot of third-party companies. They have Retro Studios that exclusively does the Metroid Prime series, and Donkey Kong from time to time. So they are not against getting another team in there to, like, work on their stuff. But they do things in-house. The Legend of Zelda games, the Mario games, right? The Mario parties, those are done in-house, right? Well, actually, some of the Mario parties maybe not be done in-house. But anyway, they do have games that are done in-house. I don't think Konami does any games in-house anymore. It's always third-party studios coming in with their brands, right? They'll make a Castlevania mobile game, or a Contra mobile game, right? They'll make a Contra Pachinko machine or whatever it is. Somebody else puts it together. Konami slaps their name on it. Boom, boom, bam. There you go. So happy to have these coming out. Just noting that they're all made by other companies.
So, and lastly, they did announce a new Silent Hill movie called Return to Silent Hill.
Yeah, that I'm probably the least excited about, because movies, whether they're animated or live action, never hit the mark.
Come on, you didn't like the announcement of their Let's Play Pokemon version of Silent Hill? You thought that was exciting? I honestly,
it's interesting.
Where other people's decisions affect your world. It was so weird. I thought this was like the weirdest. Silent Hill Ascension, which is the game that's coming first.
Right.
That was sort of the weirdest thing. I figured the movie could be a little bit better, right? Like, I think they're putting time and effort, and they can make that better. Learn from the mistakes of the first two movies, because this is the third in the bunch. I think the first one was pretty good. The second one was definitely trash. Didn't like the second one at all. So I think they can learn from this. But I will say that if Silent Hill remake actually does well, I guarantee you we're gonna get a Silent Hill 3 remake. They're gonna remake all three.
I mean, technically they already did the first one. They did a reimagining on the Wii of the first Silent Hill, which Shattered Memories, I think.
They can port that, and then they can make a Silent Hill 3 remake, right?
Yeah, there you
make
go.
it right, because the HD version didn't have any fog in it. It didn't have any fog in it on the PS3.
No. Well, they were able to make that work. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, let's talk about the Resident Evil showcase. We got nothing but spooky game showcases. And you remember when, just as a side note, you remember back in the day when it was like either you were on the Silent Hill bandwagon or you were on the Resident Evil bandwagon. It was like the top two horror games of the time.
Yep.
Right. Like, I was always on the Resident Evil bandwagon, even though I hated both.
Okay.
So it was just so weird that we got the same week we got two showcases from the two prominent horror games.
Those are really the two. Yeah, I mean there are a bunch of other ones now too, but yeah, those are the ones with the most storied history for sure. Yeah. I was obviously more excited about Resident Evil because Capcom actually cares about video games. They're still making games, even though Mega Man is nowhere to be found. But it's fine. It's fine. They're pushing forward here. There's some really good stuff. We'll get into all the Resident Evil stuff right now.
Well, Resident Evil they have Resident Evil Village DLC, which had third-person camera mode, right? They showed that off. They showed Resident Evil Village, the demo that returns with the third-person mode, right?
That's actually really surprising that they updated the demo to have third-person mode. So they're really like hyping that as like a big selling point.
You still can't see his face.
Right.
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 His back will always be turned to you. So every time you try to look at his face, he will turn away. So I think kind of interesting.
Ethan's very camera shy.
Yeah, he's very camera shy. He's no model, I tell you.
No.
I tell you. No. Then we got Resident Evil 4 remake gameplay revealed. So we definitely got to see that. That looked awesome. Not gonna lie. And all the Resident Evil games, that Resident Evil 4 was, I know that's like held in high regard as like the best Resident Evil game, and it looks awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think it's still my favorite. Happy to come back to it. I mean, I beat that game. I want to say like almost 2 times over, which is a crime because it's been remastered and remade on everything. I mean, it's right up there with Skyrim.
So, I'll give you a little history about me and Resident Evil. I never played 2 or 3. I played 1 or attempted to play 1 a million times. I attempted to play 1 a million times.
Right.
And I'm talking about like the first one, not the director's cut, the first one.
Yeah.
And then my next Resident Evil game was Resident Evil 5 on the PS3. And I think I have more love for that game because that was my coming back to gaming. That was the start of me gaming again, right? 5 was still pretty good, and it was a little more actiony, a little bit more actiony. So
so 4 was the perfect mid ground of action and survival horror. Gave you more agency. 5 they amped it up a little bit, the action, and then 6 they went balls to the wall with the action. and it was just like guns akimbo all over the place.
Yeah. And then they revealed Resident Evil 4 Remake Deluxe and Collector's Edition, where you get the statue and all that stuff. I thought that was cool. It's probably sold out, or all the pre-orders are probably sold out by the time you listen to this. It's going to go quick, right? It's going to go super quick. Everybody's going to want that.
Yeah. I think you're missing one of the biggest things, Dan. Resident Evil 4 Remake in VR. It's happening.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Happening. It's happening, Dan.
Well, you know what that means. Well, if it's in PSVR or PSVR 2, right? Like,
I don't see why it wouldn't be. They're not going to support the old one.
If it was going to be available, I will challenge Dave to play.
No! Stop! No! Don't! Yeah. No!
Yes!
Silence your mouth.
Challenge has been made. Yeah.
Oh. No. You did this. If anyone remembers, way back when in 2017, Dan was over and Resident Evil just came out, and we both had the VR headset. And
Resident Evil Village.
No, 7.
Oh, 7, yeah, 7.
Yeah. Because 8 is now apparently getting support too, I think, maybe, or something like that. But when like 7 came out, and we were trying out the headset and all that, and then Dan's like, you should do the whole thing in VR, and like he made a video of it, and he put it up on Instagram, right, for the world to see, and it's me like fake drinking a handle of like Jack Daniels or something to like calm my nerves, because Christ. It was
as soon as he came out with the chainsaw, you went crazy.
Oh well, there's a pivotal scene at the end of chapter 1 of episode 7 with the father that, my God. But Dan was like, you should do the whole game in VR. I said, okay, challenge accepted. I don't back down from that bullshit, Dan. All right, you throw the gauntlet. All right, I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna take it to the end zone. All right, so if you're saying, hey, you got to play Resident Evil 4 the whole entire game in VR, you know what? I'm gonna fucking do it. And I don't care. Those damn dudes with the burlap sacks over their head that have the chainsaws, it's flying around like your freaking Leatherface from the Chainsaw Massacre. I don't care. I'm coming for you. All right, you're not gonna get me.
Do this. You can do this.
You're not gonna get me.
You can do this.
So I was a little bit of context, quick story, and then we can go ahead and keep it moving. I'm deathly afraid of chainsaws. If anybody doesn't know, right, it is bad because chainsaws are like the ultimate weapon. It's crazy. Anybody who's going to wield a chainsaw in public is crazy. You run from them unless they're landscaping, and even then I don't trust them. I'm sorry. No.
I think a bazooka is the ultimate weapon. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, but nobody carries a bazooka around, right? And if you carry a bazooka around, the cops are going to get you, right?
Nobody carries a chainsaw around either.
Well, exactly. So that's why when you see it, you run, because you know there's some trouble afoot.
All right, well, if you see somebody with a bazooka, you can't run. You go and die.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's like when you get hit by a bazooka, your life is over like that, right? A chainsaw, unless they like go for the head, which they could certainly do, which is also terrifying. You're probably going to get some cuts. You're probably going to lose a couple limbs. And now you're like a husk of a being, right? And then boom, then what? He splits you down the middle like a Mortal Kombat fatality? No, get the hell out of here.
Dramatic. All right, you're a little dramatic, but okay.
So I'm not over dramatic, Dan. The chainsaw is the ultimate weapon. Anyway, I was watching a little bit of gameplay footage.
That should be the name of the episode. The chainsaw is the ultimate weapon.
It is. I was watching some video footage of the remake of it. And the guy's like going through the opening minutes. He goes through the little like house, right, which has been revamped, and he sees, oh, there's all these Gyarados, or zombies, doesn't know what they're called necessarily. They call them Gyarados in the game. They're a little bit different. They're infected with Las Plagas, not necessarily the T virus or the G virus or whatever Umbrella's cooking up, which is cool. It's a little different, but there's like a point where he comes up against the burlap sack dude who's got like the chainsaw, who's like running around, and like he's trying to like trip it up and whatever, and it's coming after him and whatnot. And then at the end of the video is the chainsaw, and he puts the little handgun out to like block it like he's in Gears of War, right? And it's metal on metal, and it's just like, and I'm like, no, So now I have to look forward to that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Anyway.
All right.
I love it and hate it. I do. It's beautiful, but I hate it.
All right, so let's shift gears to Bayonetta 3. And it's coming out next week. Well, if you listen to this, it's coming out this week.
Right.
The show this is coming out. A lot of big issues with not even the game, but the voice actor. Apparently, the voice actor, she made a bunch of videos stating how Retro Studios, well, not really Retro. She should have been a little bit more accurate. Nintendo, who's publishing it, when you publish it, I think they were the ones that actually pay the voice actors.
Oh, you mean Platinum Games?
Yeah, Platinum.
Okay.
I meant Platinum, but
Right.
but Nintendo is the one that's publishing it. So usually
Right.
I think Nintendo is the one that they'd be flipping the bill. But she said that she only got offered $4,000 to reprise her role as Bayonetta. Originally, that's what she said, right? In one of her 4 videos.
So,
And then then let me finish. She called for a boycott of the game, right? And then this is what kind of got me looking.
well, let's get all the facts out, and then we can.
Well, no, I am getting the facts out.
Okay.
This is what she said originally. I'm going in order.
And this is
her first.
This is Hellena Taylor, the original.
Helena Taylor. Yeah. In her original videos that she posted up online, she said she got paid $4,000 to reprise her role as Bayonetta. That's a fact of what she said. All right. And she also claimed she wanted everybody to boycott the game and donate, instead of buying the game, donate the money to charity. And then the thing that really got me scratching my head is when she said the new voice actor who's playing Bayonetta is not Bayonetta. She can't sign merchandise. She can't do anything because she is not Bayonetta. It is only her. Only her. That's it. And I can understand, she's definitely passionate about the character, which you want, whoever's working on the game to be passionate about the character. So I got that part.
Of course.
And she said that out of anger, right? Because I know she's a little bit angry. I was a little bit confused personally because the game's coming out now, and all her complaints happened maybe a couple of years ago when they were in development of the game, right? So she waited till now to voice her frustrations.
Well, that was very much a timed exclusive video, Dan.
Yeah.
She put that out to make a statement for sure.
Yeah. So that was the initial. That's what the crux of this, and everybody was up in arms, going crazy, and saying, should they boycott the game? Should they not boycott the game? I never heard anybody call for their own boycott, to be honest. It's like you say there's a gripe, and then people say we're boycotting the game, right? And then after that, Jason Schreier, right, from Bloomberg. He works at Bloomberg. This is not this is not a YouTube channel. This is not sort of a rinky-dinky website. This is Bloomberg, all right, former mayor of New York for like 5 terms.
Right.
It felt like he was
news network, which is
it feels like
it
feels like he was mayor forever. All right. So, Jason Schreier, reputable actual video game journalist, said that may not be true, that she was offered $4,000 and more for each session, right? Where she could have made roughly, $15,000 to $20,000 for $1,000 an hour. That equaled up to $1,000 an hour for the different sessions that she was offered, right? So, and she could have made more, but she was trying to negotiate, and she asked for 6-figure salary. So that seems to be. And the last thing I saw in this was Platinum Games issuing a statement saying they stand behind the voice actress and everything she said. And the voice actress did say, hey, she respects all her voice, all the other voice actors, right, out there. She didn't really name her specifically, in that, she calls for, nobody to go crazy, no violence, none of that stuff. Let's just all, enjoy the game. And Platinum did say that they stand by what she said, and, called for no violence, no nothing like that. Like, let's just move on. After Jason Schreier's report, that she was offered more money. I will say, to be fair, Hellena Taylor did come out and did say that's a lie, but then, oddly enough, she said she just wants to move on and not worried about.
Well, of course, she got called out, right? She got called out. So
what do you think? What do you think about all this whole mess?
Well, so it's interesting. So when it first came out, when Hellena Taylor made the video, and they're like, Platinum Games is terrible, and I need to get paid more, and I'm not going to be the actress and all that. Everyone went on the reactionary train. YouTube blew up. Everybody made these videos. I think most notably Review Tech USA, and it was like based on the information that was there and the context that was there. What's that?
It was only accusations, based on the accusations.
No, well, I mean, yeah, of course. But
there was no paperwork. She only accused them.
Well, no, I'm just trying to lay out the timeline, right? So like we get that, and like looking at like those like facts, it's a believable story because the game industry is terrible. They don't. You know, you don't want to get into all workers' rights and you know whatever else and all that, but it is a tough business to be in. They have razor thin deadlines. The budgets usually aren't that great, right? They want to make money on this game. They're putting a lot of risk into it, the publishers. So like, I get that there's a lot of moving parts and all that, but you definitely have to pay. You have to pay your staff appropriately, right? Whether you're a hired actor or you're a game developer working on the game, you're a hired musician, whatever it is. So like we get all that, and it's like, oh wow, this is like terrible. Like now I have to hate Platinum Games. And then almost immediately, Platinum claps back and goes, no, you're wrong. And then it turns into a he said, she said thing, right? Is like, well, who is in the right here? And then we get the Jason Schreier stuff coming out from like Bloomberg. And like he's like, nah, I got the receipts. Here we go. So he's verified all that information. And then she comes out and says, hey, throwing her hands up, I'm out of here. You know, she's like putting the powder in the hands like LeBron. Game over, let's go. No. Now, it's terrible that she's trying to sabotage a game, because I was almost going to be like, you know what, I'm not going to buy Bayonetta 3. I'm not going to spend $60 on it. Sorry, you lost my money because they did some stuff that's shitty. That's obviously not the case. We don't. I mean, I guess we've kind of corroborated. Jason Schreier's corroborated the dollar amount. Obviously was not, you know, $4,000 for the session. It was a per session thing. They tried to offer her more money. Asking for $1 million is crazy. Hellena Taylor is crazy. You can't.
No, 6 figures. 6 figures.
Oh, 6 figures. Okay.
Yeah, she was asking for
no. 6 figures. Also crazy. That is a good year's salary that she's going to get balled up into however long, couple of. You know,
about 20 hours. About 20 hours of voice acting.
Okay, that's like a week's worth of voice acting. Maybe even a little more. I don't know how long their sessions go. Even if it's like 4 hours per, that's like 5 days. All right, you spread that over 5 days. There you go. There's like a week, and you're gonna make 6 figures, which is crazy. $4,000, a little low for sure, but obviously like they offered her more money and all that, which is like. Is crazy. So obviously I'm Team Platinum. I'm Team Jennifer Hale. It's sad that Hellena Taylor is no longer going to be the voice actor. She's probably not going to get a lot of roles after this. So that kind of sucks. She didn't really
do a lot of voice acting. I mean, her last credit was Smash Brothers doing Bayonetta.
Well, video game wise, right, playing the role of Bayonetta. Right, she was in every cameo or whatever. She was the voice. So.
I would say,
yeah.
Well, Jennifer is. Well, Jenna, the new one. She's going to be the new one.
Jennifer Hale is, you know, she is most notably FemShep, right? And she played many other roles. You definitely know her voice. She is a consummate professional, but good.
No, I was just going to say, you know, this is kind of sad because I loved Bayonetta. I loved I love the voice. Well, obviously, I love the voice actress from the first 2 games. It's a sad situation that they couldn't come to sort of an agreement to bring her back, right? Mm-hmm. Again, I was really taken back by her original video when she said the new voice actress can't be Bayonetta. She's not Bayonetta. It's only me. She can't sign merch. And I'm like, well, you know, we know James Earl Jones was the voice of Darth Vader. He just sold his rights to Lucasfilms or Disney,
right?
Because he's like 95 years old.
Yeah, right.
So, but he can sign his name as Darth Vader, right? There are 3 Darth Vaders technically, right?
You're gonna call Hayden Christensen's performance number 1 Darth Vader, because I don't know about that.
Hayden Christensen is Darth Vader, regardless if you like him or not. It's not a popularity contest; it's just a fact. He's Darth Vader.
But
so he can sign as Darth Vader as well. So
if you're gonna go
could play the characters.
If you're gonna go to Comic-Con and you see, and I can't think of the guy who was in the suit in the original ones, but you get him.
Yeah. Well, he was the original. He was the original voice. Well, he did pass away, by the way.
Yeah.
He was the original voice, and Darth Vader sounded, Irish because he was Irish.
Right.
It's kind of funny.
And then they're like, "Nah, we have to get somebody else in there." So the dude in the suit, Hayden Christensen or James Earl Jones, you're at like Comic-Con, and you're gonna get your copy of Star Wars, the original trilogy, signed. Who are you gonna get it signed by?
Both. They're both going to sign it. I'm getting both.
You only have one. You only have one choice. Who are you going to get it signed by?
I'll go to James Earl Jones.
Exactly. Thank you. He's the voice.
Only because he's like 95 years old. I may not get another chance. I got other chances.
Only because, like, listen, I'm not trying to downplay the dude in the suit and all that. Like,
if James Earl Jones was like 25, I can go to Hayden Christensen first, and then I'll go to James Earl Jones.
Listen. I don't want to downplay the dude in the suit in the first movie, and I'm sorry I can't remember your name, but you could get anybody in that suit, right? They're just walking around. They're not doing a lot of gesturing. I mean, like, the best they do is he puts his hand up like this to do the force choke. I'm like, okay, you got anybody to do
gesturing. He is gesturing.
He does it. He does it. Puts his hand.
Come on, he holds the lightsaber. Whatever. Come on, he holds the lightsaber and he's doing a lightsaber battle.
He did some basic fencing. I mean, come on, it's not that hard to do. Come on. But James Earl Jones, that
basic fencing. Come on, I want to fence. Me and you should fence. We'll see who's basic.
It wasn't. Look, listen. The battles lasted like 20 seconds. They weren't that long in the original. Look them up again. It was a couple of swings of the sword, and then boom, Obi-Wan goes down. Spoilers if you haven't seen Star Wars. It's a 40-year-old movie. I don't care. But James Earl Jones, man, the bass in his voice, the kind of vibrato, the really brought gravity and weight to that character. I'm sorry. He is Darth Vader. So if he were to come out and say, like, I am Darth Vader, I'm like, yeah, you're Darth Vader. I'm sorry. No offense to the guy in the suit, but he's the guy.
I'm gonna get all 3. Well, I can't get all 3 because the first guy passed away, but I would get all 3, and in the order of their age is the order I'm gonna get it signed. So the guy who passed away, I don't know who was older, James Earl Jones or the original Darth Vader.
Right.
But whoever's older is the person I'm going to get signed first. Because I may not get another opportunity.
Yeah. One more thing I want to say about this too, right? Because this gets into union stuff and SAG-AFTRA and all that, right? SAG is where all the actors get into. That is their kind of union. Right, she is part of SAG-AFTRA. You don't necessarily have to be a voice actor, but it is a good thing. I think it certainly helps. There are minimums, right? If you're a regular voice actress like she is, and not like Tom Hanks or something, who's obviously going to negotiate his own price or whatever, you more or less hear what the minimums are, and if a company wants to pay more than that, they can. But there's like set rates for day rate, for whatever, and it's based on a number of different metrics and whatever else. So, even if like you're scoffing at those numbers and like whatever else, like there's like, there's required minimums for like people. So like if me and you wanted to do voices for whatever upcoming video game, and they're like, all right, well, you're part of SAG-AFTRA, okay, this is what we're going to pay you for the thing, and that's it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, I'm sure they'll pay us $400 a session.
I mean, listen, I'll take anything I can get.
All right, well, all right, so we got that, but another unfortunate situation is G4 TV. Rest in peace.
Shocker of
officially shut down. Not even a year. Couldn't even make it one more month.
God. G4 and Stadia
coming back.
They're all
coming back. Yeah, yeah. You know what? You know what? You can stream your G4 on Stadia
Yeah.
in the afterlife because they're
Yeah.
both gone. They've both been shut down.
So this is
they had
this,
but they had massive layoffs last month, which was a
yep.
precursor to shutting down. Now Paramount Studios, which I did not know, sort of I guess owned the rights to G4, right? They put out a letter stating that G4 is shutting down, and I think the completionist Gerard Butler, not Gerard Butler, but Gerard the completionist,
Gerard Khalil, Gerard Dragon Rider
Yeah.
Khalil.
I think he saw that he was being laid off online because I think they sent this memo out over the weekend for people to see it on a Monday when they come back to work. But
that's
got
fucked
leaked
up.
out.
That's fucked up. Well, who are you trying to save face from? What secrets do you need to keep from the public? You should tell them well ahead of any other public press release. Hey, we're canceling G4. I'm sorry. Here's your severance package or whatever it is.
All right, I think you got it mixed up. They sent it to employees so they can see. They sent it like on a Sunday so they can see it on Monday.
Nah, still not enough time.
So someone posted it. Someone posted it online on the weekend.
Oh, okay.
So that's
okay.
And in the story, no, they posted it on a Saturday. They posted somebody posted it on Saturday, and the story got fired. So if that person didn't post it, all the employees would have saw it on Monday.
Oh, so somebody leaked it. Right.
Yeah, somebody posted it. They didn't leak it. Somebody posted it on Twitter.
Okay.
And then it got caught on the main, on media, and it sort of became like weekend news.
That's fucked up. Think about the business you're in, the business I'm in. If I was like chilling over the weekend or whatever, right? This and that, and I was, I don't know, I was on social media or whatever, and they're like, so and so company shut down, and I work for that company. Be like, fuck. A, you just ruined my weekend, right? And B, now I gotta spend money, or I gotta spend time on Monday updating my resume and looking for a new job. That's effed up.
Okay, well, think of it this way: if there was no social media, you would have got it Monday as intended for you to get on Monday.
Well, it's still bad. You should tell people 2 weeks to a month ahead of time to go, hey, look, and obviously, I think everybody knew that like this was coming, and also Gerard is one of the most successful people who was on that network, so he'll be fine. He's got his own that one video gamer network, so probably okay. But if that's your only job at the time, right? You want you want some heads up in the matter.
Well, no. Okay, I don't care if they say we're as 2 weeks from now it's shutting down.
Yeah,
or shutting down immediately. That is irrelevant. If you're getting a severance package, that's the only thing that matters.
Well, I don't think they're getting that great of a severance package, if at all. Then I think that's the problem, But I mean, even if you were,
to be fair, we don't know. To be fair, we don't know. You're losing your job, so you're going to phone it in. You're not going to put your all into the job. If
the network isn't coming back. I mean,
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying.
They have nothing to save.
Then what's the point? Of saying, hey, 2 weeks from now you're going to be out of a job?
That means I can start looking for work elsewhere, right?
Oh, you only want to get paid. Just pay me. Give me a severance package. It doesn't matter if you care about.
I don't think they have the money to do that. That's
you think about getting paid. You think about getting paid. The only reason why you want the 2 weeks because you want that last paycheck. If I'm going to give you the paycheck now and say go home, that's it, we're done.
Well, no. You know what I really want. I mean, I want to get paid because I'm legally owed that money, but I want to set it up so that in 2 weeks' time I already have interviews and I'm ready for the next job because everybody needs to have money. There's no way around it.
I think you're confusing. The only reason why you want the 2 weeks is because you want to get that last paycheck. If I'm giving you that paycheck up front and saying go home now, you can set up whatever interviews you want. This week, next week, the month, doesn't matter. I'm paying you. That's the only reason why you want the 2 weeks, because you want that last paycheck.
Well, all that aside. Well, okay. Well, look.
You're not working at 2 weeks because you care. The company's gone. It's going to be gone. You want that last paycheck. That's the whole reason why you want the 2 weeks. Who cares If I pay you now, go home. You could do an interview the next day.
Okay, well, sure, but that's assuming there's a severance package.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any severance package. I don't think there's any severance package.
We don't know. We don't know. You don't think so? I don't know. I'm not going to comment on that, but we don't know technically.
Okay, sure. We don't. I guess like the bigger thing, whatever they did, shitty the way that they did it, sure. But the bigger thing is, how did they think that this was going to work again? How did they think it was going to work? Because it worked back in the day because the internet was still young. Not everybody had broadband. Getting video game news was still done by magazine for the most part, right? The internet was still growing. Social media wasn't as big of a thing necessarily. G4 came out of Tech TV, right? It got kind of rebranded. It was, it changed the name and all that, and it was all like video game first. Right? It was tech stuff. It was like pop culture stuff. And you tuned into it. Everybody tuned into it. They had good hosts. They were definitely very personable and all that. But now in 2022, right, with the internet the way it is, they're not breaking any news, right? So you got to have really good personalities that kind of gel together. And they brought back some of the people who they could get back. They got back Kevin Pereira. They got back
Adam Sessler.
They got back Adam Sessler, right? They got back some of the people involved, and then they brought Gerard in. They got Scott the Woz to do his thing that he was normally doing on YouTube. I'm like, all right, this could be like kind of cool.
They got Austin Creed, WWE.
They got Austin Creed, right? Yeah, who's definitely a
Xavier.
Yeah, they got Indiana Black, Frostkarin or whatever. Who I don't know,
yeah,
but
she was from esports.
Yeah. She was definitely a known quantity. And so they got all these people in there, and then they're like, okay, this is enough, right? And it's like, you got to have good people and good conversation and whatever, and they just, I don't know, none of it gelled.
They just didn't have any. They didn't have. How can I say chemistry? They didn't have good content. Right? I mean, they really should have just came back as a YouTube channel, to be honest. I mean, games on TV. I mean, every time I would flash by it or pass by it, or I'm just going through the channels, I would go by it. All I would see is Scott the Woz videos that I could watch on YouTube. Right? Like, it was just packaged in a slightly different way with a new intro, but it was still Scott the Woz. Yeah.
And he'll be okay because he was big on YouTube, and he's now back on YouTube. Yeah.
With weird cuts because his content was YouTube based, not.
Yeah. It's got to be cut for time, right? It's got to fit into the block.
It was cut for commercials, right? So it was like cut weirdly to go to a commercial. So
yeah.
Rest in peace, Stadia. Listen, 2022. Rest in peace, Stadia. Rest in peace, G4 TV. All right, let's look on to 2023 and new things on the horizon. And we got confirmation from Sony that the PS5 DualSense Edge controller is coming January 26th.
Oh,
you can pre-order it next week. It's going to be $200, all right, which is $10 less than the Elite 2 controller, I believe.
$10 more? $10 more.
$10 more. $10. Sorry. The Elite Controller 2 is $10 less.
Right.
Right. And if you get Joy-Con drift, just say Joy-Con drift with any controller, you can replace the modules.
Yeah.
Right? They have replaceable stick modules.
Yep.
I think it's about $20. So that's going to be awesome. I'm getting it. I'm getting this day one.
They're very good. The pro version of the controller. It's not necessary, obviously, but it feels nice. Got the little paddles on the back. It's great for first-person shooters, right, with the short throws on the controller. Love it. I'm surprised they couldn't get it out for the holiday season. I'm sure Sony's upset about that. I guess it's a supply chain issue. You would want it to be out for the holidays. So
they they're putting all their effort into the PSVR 2 production. Remember?
Yeah. Which certainly the better move. Yeah.
September is when they were ramping up production on it because they want to have 3 million units ready to sell.
Sure.
When it gets released, which I believe is going to be next year. And if you believe the rumors of the PS5 Slim, because they want to put they're ambitious to get 30 million units out there in the world next year, right? PS5 units. So they've been a little busy getting actual consoles out before they can get an Elite controller out.
Right. Now, do you think this is going to be is it going to be in short supply? It's going to be hard to get, or you think they'll be out there?
No, I think it'll be plentiful. I think it'll be plentiful to get out there. I just, it's $200. I know everybody's up in arms. It's $10 more than Elite Controller 2, and then probably $40 more because the Elite Controller 2 is probably going to be on sale this holiday season, but it's been out for a while. That's why it's on sale. Next year and the year after that, I guarantee you this will go on sale for $20, $30 cheaper, right? And you'll get a DualSense Edge in 2024, probably for like $159.
One can hope.
So, yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm definitely getting this. All right, Dave, our last story on the list is a crazy one. And I like to pick some crazy, interesting stories to end the show with. Scalpers who, are scalping PS5s, even, which is the whole reason why I think, the DualSense Edge isn't coming out until January because, Sony was ramping up production of the PS5 and PSVR 2. So scalpers need something else to scalp, right? And it looks like they're scalping McDonald's adult Happy Meal toys.
Oh my God. I can't.
I didn't even know this is a thing. I didn't even know this is a thing. Apparently,
adult abominations.
Apparently, there was an adult Happy Meals named after the Cactus Plant Flea Market box back in September. One of 4 different Cactus Plant Flea Market designed toys, and one unopened toy from this Happy Meal is listed for $25,000 online, while another is listed. The other 3 are listed to sell for $300,000.
Oh, yeah. It's more
than
wild.
Little Samson. It's more than Little Samson.
Well, I mean, listen. These things are cool and all. They're like weird. They're weird 4-eyed versions of like Grimace and Hamburger and all that, and they're like kind of cute. It's cool. They had a Happy Meal thing that was still around. You get it for like, $5, $10 or whatever it is. It's like okay. Well, actually, they were selling them for $12.95, which is the price of an amiibo. So I was like, yeah, it's cool. $3,000? Get the fuck out of here. You will not be making your money back. I'm sorry. It is the hotness. I mean, maybe you can get $50 for it, but nobody's going to care about this in a month. Right? Nobody's going to care about this. I'm sorry.
We'll see.
They're going to be left holding the bag. This is not the NES Classic.
I want to keep my eye on this. I want to know how much. I want to see how much they sell this by like January. If this is still a thing.
Listen, there's a dude. I'm pretty sure I haven't looked at it in a while, but when the Amiibos, this is pre-Switch. This was Wii U days. This was before my condo days, right? I still have this eBay listing saved. There's an eBay listing of people. Some dude had 4 complete original in-boxed Amiibos. Now they were like in really good condition, maybe an 8.5 or a 9, right? They were pretty damn pristine. $10,000 each. Each. Not just for one. I'm like, you're not going to sell these. I'm sorry, my dude. Like $100, $200 maybe. I mean, like just because they're rare, just because you have a couple of them in pristine condition doesn't mean they're going to sell like that. I'm sorry. And it's terrible. Okay. Now, there's little cactus plant amiibo things or whatever, right? I don't care. People can go out and do it. It's not like it's video games that you're denying people access to and whatever else, right? They're just little figurines and all that. I think it's not that bad, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Right. Dave, you got any good weekend plans?
I do, Dad. I do. I am actually going upstate New York. There's an Oktoberfest going on, so after the show, I'm going to be heading up. This place called Cruckers. It's great. I went there last year, and you pay a flat rate. You can drink all day. You can eat all day. Listen to beautiful German Oompa music. You can play oversized Jenga. It's great. You hang out by the lake. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
All right.
Yeah. So how about you? What are you doing this weekend?
Playing some more Luigi's Mansion. I'm going to get into Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope. All right. I didn't get a chance to pop that in. I'm definitely going to play that. And it's going to be more of a chill weekend for me. I'm not going to do anything too crazy.
Okay.
Just enjoy my OLED screen.
Maxing out, relaxing, chilling outside.
Well, I can't wait for October to be over because I'm doing sober October, so I have not had a drink.
Oh, this guy.
Since I want to think even more. I think it's been a month already. I think it was like the last week of September. It was like the last time I had a drink. It wasn't like I had a drink like the last day of September, and I was like, all right, October is tomorrow. So,
well, your liver thanks you.
My liver definitely thanks me.
Well, there you go. All right, folks, that is episode 334 in the books. We want to thank you guys for listening to the show, for liking, commenting, doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Instagram and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. You can check out all the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.